Hey, what's going on? Welcome to our new feature here on Reversal. It's called First to 10, where I link up with some of the most interesting characters in the FGC. And today, I'm talking to arguably one of the favorites as we go into EVO this coming week. The man who is the first ever Red Bull athlete to win the Red Bull Kumite and the first ever African-born champion of Red Bull Kumite. You kind of said that, didn't you, in the cage? Welcome, Big Bird. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you, Logan?
I'm great. Thank you very much. Obviously, we're all very excited to get there and see exactly what a 7,000 player tournament bracket looks like. Before I get into the 10 questions, I'll give you a layup on that one. How draining do you think that's going to be for you guys?
I mean, the game is already draining enough as it is, even just playing casually. Add the tournament stress, add the 7,000 players that you're about to play in the same, well, not the same day. Obviously, the first round of pools is one of the first day, and then the second day is just the rest of the tournament. So you'll be playing, if you stay in winners, that is, you'll be playing 10 plus matches on the second day alone, if you stay in winners. Now, if you go to losers, double that.
Crazy. I was reading somewhere that if you make it out of pools in winners, you are then entered into the second biggest Street Fighter 6 tournament ever. Because
is it 1,400?
Yeah, it's more players than there were at CEO. And everyone got out of pools. So yeah, that's crazy.
It's basically like if you qualify from pools, first round of pools, you'll basically be playing what we played from the start of last year's EVO.
Yeah.
It's like we started over again from last year's EVO, because last year's EVO was around the same number.
But everyone is a winner in pools as well. That's crazy. There's no gimmies. All right, let's get straight into these 10 questions because I'm very eager to hear your answers on this. First one, do you think it is inevitable that Marissa's damage is eventually turned down?
I mean, I do think... I'm not sure if Capcom intentionally designed Marissa to be this way. It seems like she doesn't really get that much damage, or the big damage, the flashy damage that you see, unless you make a big mistake like DP, for example, or you get whiff punished in the corner or stuff like that. Because she doesn't really have that access to that big damage that you see on Twitter, unless it's in the corner. So I'm not sure if that was intentional or if it was maybe a slight oversight. But if it wasn't a slight oversight, we might have, gotten a patch for that. But it seems like they made it intentional, so she's a slow, big body character that slowly gets in, and then forces you to make a mistake, because she has multiple tools, and those multiple tools, they stack over time. So it causes you to throw out something in panic. Like, for example, you try to react to Superman Punch with Drive Impact. I sometimes do Gladius, and they do Drive Impact as a panic. And then Drive Impact back, big punish. So I feel like maybe it was intentional, but I do think that if they nerfed her damage, I think she'll go way down the tier list. In my opinion, she has a lot of even matchups simply because she has a damage. Take out that damage, those even matches become losing matches for sure.
So your tier list that you did earlier on, it has no bad matchups. Is that literally just because of the damage output that she can get off one touch?
Mostly because of the damage output. So let's say, for example, the biggest example, which is the most clearest example I can give, take Chun-Li, for example. For my games with Valmaster, I play Valmaster quite a bit, and my games with him literally go, he dominates 70%, 80% of the round, and then I slowly work my way to get to him, and then when he makes a mistake, whiffs a button, gets the DP blocked or something, I win that round. Now imagine if I don't win the round from just those two interactions. I need more than two interactions. And that means the matchup gets a bit harder, So I do feel like because of the damage she has, she can basically compete with all the top tiers. She goes even with all the top tiers. Ken, Jury, Luke, Guile, JP, and all of these. Now characters like Guile, Dalsim, Chun, and JP, the ones that are supposed to keep you out, it gets harder because they get to keep you out. They don't lose much health. They can afford to make more mistakes. And when you give zoners a chance to make more mistakes, then that means it just gets harder, you know? But when you give zoners the ability to make less mistakes, then it gets harder for them. Because, you know, a zoner is going to make a mistake one way or another. So the mistake against Marissa is just basically going to cost them the round. That's pretty much how I see it.
But it generally has to be a big mistake, so I guess that's...
It's not really a big mistake. It's something just like a whiffing, a normal parrying, or getting hit by one Superman punch, get dragged into the corner, stuff like that.
Counter hit by medium punch, yeah, anything normal and small. Right, we're talking about balance changes. What would you change in the first big balance patch for Street Fighter 6?
This is kind of hard. So the two things I would change, and they're mutual, by the way, they go hand in hand. If I wanted to nerf throw loops, remove them from the game, I would also have to find a way to nerf parry. Because if you remove throw loops, then parry becomes objectively stronger. Because the only way to counter a parry is a throw, right? So we need to find a way to make whiffing a parry more punishable than just me having to walk up and throw. Because people right now, they find a way to not get punish countered by throw when they do a parry. They do a parry and then option select drive rush. So if you don't parry normal, your drive rush comes out. So even if I throw you, it doesn't count as a punish counter. So basically nothing really happened to him. He doesn't get that much the damage you get from a punish counter throw. So I would nerf throw loops, but I need to find a way to make parries punishable. Perfect parry also is very strong. Even with the scaling it has the opportunity to turn the round, you know, upside down. Sometimes I win matches because I perfect parried them once, back threw them into the corner.
Yeah.
There's something that gotta be done about perfect parry. I just don't know what it is, you know? It has already damage scaling, a lot of damage scaling. Maybe increase the pushback so you don't get throw.
And then you end up with characters like, Ken and Cammy that have got meterless side switch just become even better than they already are, and they're pretty good right now, yeah. So
yeah, and even if you nerf throw loops, characters like JP, Guile, Dalsum, Chun-Li become instantly stronger because these characters suffer from throw loops as well. So I don't know how really you can do this. But I think the thing we all agree on is the drive rush. Something needs to be done about drive rush normals. Whether it's extra time freeze, whether it's more scaling on hitting grounded normals, whether it's less advantage frames on hitting, for example, some moves are not comboable without the drive rush plus frames. Like, for example, Juri, when she does drive rush semi-new kick, she can do crush menu kick after that. So maybe nerf the advantage from the drive rush. I don't know, but something needs to be done about the drive rush to prevent it from being very oppressive. Those three things, in my opinion, need to be looked at first before we move on to characters. And then you can nerf the characters based on what system mechanics you touched. Because, like I said, if you nerf throw loops, then characters like JP, Chun, Dalsum, and Guile become inevitably stronger.
Well, one of my questions was throw loops, yes or no, and why. So I'm going to count that as two answers because I can see that you definitely don't want throw loops in there and you're trying to move those out of the game. But what is it about throw loops that pisses you off that much?
It's just it's just having the constant guessing between throw or not is just a bit annoying, you know. He throws me, he takes me to the corner. For example, characters like Ken, Juri, they have easy access to corner carry. So one combo, you're in the corner already, and then you have to guess for your life against the throw loops. It's just not fun playing against that kind of play, you know? Whether I have to guess if he's going to throw or not, I'm going to get thrown 4 times in a row, and then I have to try to take the throw, and I get shimmied the 5th time, and I die afterwards. Just not fun that way. I liked it how it was in SF5, where you had to walk up and throw me. If you walk up and throw me 4 times in a row, you deserve it, because I could have jabbed you and, you know, won the interaction. But right now, even if I jab you pretty much nothing.
I think it's a difficult situation, right? Because in Street Fighter 5, if I walked up and you respected my walk up, I'm at least plus still, you know, because I can press a button, you block it because you're respecting me, and I actually get a turn after that. Whereas you can't really do that unless you're like Jury. You know, the walk up button immediately gives my turn up, and I'm giving my turn up anyway. It's a tough one. I would definitely like to see perhaps backdashes being airborne again.
That's what I was going to say right now. Not backdashes being airborne, but remember in the beta how Ken used to be able to throw, dash, throw, right?
Yeah.
And some characters or some situations you can backdash and then punish him. I would like to see that done over the whole cast. You know, backdash being a legit option against, you know,
so like
throws.
slightly more throw recovery, so that it is a punishable situation.
Slightly more throw recovery, or backdashes being a bit faster. Just to keep them the same way they are, just make them a bit faster in recovery. So at least if I guess right and I back throw, I don't just end up with a +2 situation. I want to be able to punish him for that. It makes the RP, it puts the RPS in RPS, you know. I'm not just guessing to be put in a +2 situation that you can just perfect parry and also punish me for that. I get nothing out. Or maybe if I take a throw, just push you half screen away or something like that. I don't want throw loops to be taken away. I just want to be more interaction, more interactive.
Yeah, there doesn't seem to be like an actual, in the rock paper scissor game of throw, there's not something that feels like it beats throws, just negates the throw with a tech, or you know, like a lot of times you backdash in the corner, you're still minus.
You're plus, but you just can't punish him sometimes.
And
so,
there's a lot of other situations where options that you use on a throw, you don't really beat the throw, right?
You don't. The thing I figured out, playing a character like Marissa that doesn't really have a DP, and I have to really take the throw into consideration, I learned to just jump forward. If I expect a throw, I don't try to tech, I jump forward. I get cross-cutted, obviously, but at least I'm out of the corner, you know? So that's something I learned to do, not having a DP character. It's still a good option because cross-cut DPs don't really lead to Oki, but I mean, Drive Rush does give them Oki, but at least I'm out of the corner. So if they back throw me, at least back throw pushes them a bit far away. There needs to be something done about it. Keep it the same way as it is. Just give the defensive guy or the defensive player more options, you know, to enter. Like right now, it feels like he has the throw loop. The guy who's doing the throw loop has the R and the P, while I only have the S, and the S isn't even winning. Do
you think that would perhaps, I mean, because I was talking about situations with characters with slower backdashes, do you feel like that would still really negatively affect them in that situation? Yeah,
that's the thing. Like, what are these characters supposed to do? Like, what is Zangief supposed to do when you throw loop him?
You got to input the perfect jump, cancel, command grab, and hope.
And and that's not even easy to do. So how are you gonna? If you play, let's say a top player with a decent player, not even like another top player, and the decent player plays Zangief, how do you expect him to do jump, cancel, command throw? This makes no sense. So I would like for there to be something that the defensive player can do. At least for the offensive player, the one on the offensive needs to think about.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I really like about Street Fighter 6 design in general. In most situations, because there's so many system mechanics, there is a smart answer that, you know, you can offer in a lot of situations. And it was really fun watching you respond to most people's tech videos with, well, if Marissa does this, then you can just do this. And you were happy to show them what the next option on the wheel was that you could spin round and counter that. And I really like that about Street Fighter 6.
That's what I like about it as well.
Yeah, it really rewards a lot of study and play. I'm gonna keep the topic on patches. We had a really, really incredibly fast patch the other day after we saw a couple of glitches with the Rashid release, obviously the SAR and the JP command grab glitch, and that was patched out like within 24 hours. It was crazy almost. Does that from Capcom really give you a lot of confidence that this game is going to have like really good competitive stability seeing that happen as a pro player?
Yeah, I mean, it looks like, I mean, even the directors themselves, they said that the game won't receive any major balance patches until after Capcom Cup. There'll only be very minor fixes or emergency patches like the one we had with Rashid and JP. The drive rush cancel was a bit surprising because it might seem not big, but it actually is kind of, because he needs to somehow find a way to work around it. But
and that's a very definite balance change as well. Like even they put it in the commentary, like they specifically said, we think the reward is too great, and that's a clear indication that there was a balance choice.
Yeah, so I do feel like I really like the way the balance is right now. I feel like every character can fight. Every character can. I'm not gonna say every character can win an event like Evo, but every character can get to top 8. I feel like except maybe Zangief. That's probably the only character, and it's good that is that way because I hate that character. Anyway, moving on. I really like the way the balance is. This is why characters like Marissa, she's designed the way she is, and they gave her the damage for a reason. I feel like they gave her the damage for a reason. If you remove that damage, she won't be able to hang in high level. Characters like Chun, Cammy, JP, and then you have characters like Kimberly, Jamie. Kimberly, for example, does no damage or anything, right? But when she puts you on the corner, she still has access to throw loops. She still has good corner carry. She's got
really good pressure and mix-ups, right? She just doesn't get a lot off of it until she lands level 3, and then she does normal damage pretty much.
She still has to hit you like 50 times to beat you, but in the first to two, I mean, it can happen. Can guess wrong 5 times. It's very possible for you to guess wrong 5 times. So I really like the way the game balances right now. I do feel like the top tiers might be a bit oppressive because of throw loops mostly. And Guile is a different case because Guile is just Guile, you know. But yeah, I do really like the game balance, and I'm really hoping the balance between characters doesn't change that much. You know, we don't get, for example, Luke nerfed to the ground, and then we get JP buffed to hell or stuff like that. Like, I just want
like wild changes, basically.
Yeah, just some minor changes here and there, some adjustments here and there. Nothing too big, obviously. Just a little something just to make some characters go up a bit and some characters go down a bit. This is what I'd like to see.
What do you think about Capcom releasing Rashid 2 weeks before Evo?
So, when I first saw that Rashid was legal for Evo, I was very worried. And I was like, that seems like a kind of a rash decision, you know? Having Rashid released right before the biggest tournament in the world with 7,000 players, this feels like it was a rash decision. But after playing him for around 5 days now, or 6 days now, I don't know if Capcom did it intentionally, but now that I played them and I tried them, it kind of makes sense that they released them 12 days before Evo. Because Rashid seems like a very technical character. And he's not going to be figured out 12 days before the event. It's very hard for someone like, let's say Gachikun pulls up to Evo with Rashid. He won't do that because when he tried the character, I'm sure he found out the character is not weak. I mean, it's not easy to play. It needs more time. So he's not going to risk playing Rashid at Evo, you know? Someone like JB, someone like Takeuchi, someone like Dual Kevin. Even me, I won't risk playing Rashid at Evo because I feel like it's too early. I don't know if Capcom did it intentionally because they knew how Rashid is. But if they did intentionally, it's very smart of them, to be honest. I could see Rashid scrubbing out some players, but I don't. Now, if they release a character like Marissa, a character that does mad damage, a character that's easy, a character that's straightforward gameplay and everything, that's a problem. But someone like Rashid, after playing him, I don't see it as a problem anymore, to be honest.
Okay. It's interesting to know whether that was by design then, or whether it was just blind luck. We'll find out, because Aki's coming soon, and we still got 2 offline premieres to play. Obviously, we're approaching Evo. I want to know your opinion on this. So, we just had the Tokyo Online Party 3 versus 3, and I don't know if you saw the results,
I saw it, modern one.
All modern controls, and we've been seeing modern controls players in SFL putting up results as well. Do you think a Japanese player will make a statement with modern controls at EVO? Are we going to see a modern controls in top 6?
I think it's very possible to see Shuto in top 6. Shuto is a modern Marisa user, right? So it's very possible to see him in top 6. Haitani, I'm not sure because I still don't know what character he's using, what character he's playing or whatever. I see him on a different character pretty much every month or every week. But Shuto has been grinding Marisa since day one with Modern. And he also has a classic, by the way. Don't be fooled by his Modern. He also has a classic. And he played classic against Fudo. He played 2 games with Modern. He won. And then Fudo came back twice. I mean, won the 2 games. So it was 2-2 in an anchor match. And Shuto switched to classic last game. And he won. Someone like Shuto could do a lot of work at EVO because he has the ability to play both. Now, another one that I am afraid of is Kawano. Kawano is not being talked about enough, but he's playing Modern Luke right now. Modern Luke on a hitbox. I don't know if hitbox is going to make a difference here because it's already Modern. But Kawano with crazy reactions and giving him Modern as well. Someone like Luke as well. Yeah, Kawano might be a problem. Me personally, I'm not afraid of any classic user. I'm only afraid of Modern Luke or Chun-Li. Modern Luke and Chun-Li. These are the players I'm afraid of, by the way. Like, if I had to make a matchup chart that involves both classic and modern, the disadvantages would be modern, not classic. I would maybe put Luke and Chun-Li in disadvantage.
For Marisa
Modern.
in your matchup
Yeah.
chart? Okay.
Yeah. So modern characters are actually, I'm worried about them, being honest.
Okay. Interesting. Right now, outside of you and Angry Bird, who do you think the best Street Fighter 6 player in the world is right now?
It's very hard to say, to be honest. We've only seen Japan play versus Japan. We've only seen Europe play versus Europe. We've only seen America play versus America. I've only seen MENA play versus Americans, right? I haven't seen MENA play versus... MENA is obviously number 1 right now in NA. Maybe not number 1, arguably number 1 in NA. But I've only seen him play versus the likes of Punk, Du, Kaba, all these players, right? I still haven't seen him play Valmaster. I haven't seen him play Crimson. I haven't seen him play whoever's in Europe right now. I haven't seen him play Lord Venom. I haven't seen him play Kakeru. I haven't seen him play Xian. I haven't seen him play Xiaohai. So that's what EVO is going to be about, you know? This the clash of each continent. If the question is who do you think is going to do work at EVO, then that's a different. Because I think Xian is a dark horse. Sounds very weird to say that Xian is a dark horse considering he's EVO champ. But he's not being talked about enough right now.
It's a case of who's not being spoken about, absolutely, because Shen's just over there, and you know, I'll catch him on ICFC Asia, just dominating people. And I got laughed at when I said this a couple of weeks ago as well, but I really think DJ's being overlooked as how good that character is, because he's so complete, in my opinion. And I know everyone's like, oh yeah, DJ's really good, but the amount of complaints I'm seeing about maybe the other 4 or 5 top tier characters, I'm kind of not hearing anyone really talking about DJ anymore.
It's mostly because who plays DJ in the US?
Yeah, there's not a lot.
Who plays DJ in Europe?
Shady Imposter.
So you got
Affy won Winner Stays On last week.
I saw that. Yeah,
It's right for us his way to victory. Yeah.
So you got Affy and Shady Imposter in Europe. You got, who do you have
Kizzy,
in the US?
Smug, Hawaiian Shirt Man. I'm sure there's a few that I'm forgetting.
Yeah, no disrespect to these players, obviously, none at all. But we know how good Xian is, right?
Yeah.
We know how good Dogora is. We know how good Fudo is, and these guys all play DJ as well. So that's when we're going to see the true potential of DJ. I play versus Shen regularly because we have a good connection here to Singapore, so I know what DJ can do, is capable of. I mean, thankfully it's a good matchup for Marisa, but they still haven't seen the mainstream still hasn't seen the proper DJ. I think Asia has amazing amount of DJs, by the way. There's still, you still got Zen playing DJ, you got Hot Dog playing DJ, you got Shen playing DJ, you got Dogura playing DJ, you got Fudu playing DJ. They're gonna all come out. I mean, except Zen, but the rest of them are all gonna come out to EVO, and we'll see how it goes. Because I expect Shen to go far in that tournament.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the pedigree, he's got the composure for it as well. He's not going to crumble under the pressure. But that brings me to another question that I really want to ask you. And I'm very interested to hear your opinion on this, because I have an idea of your opinion and your approach to this, but I really want to hear it from yourself. This season, this new game, Street Fighter 6, we are playing for never before seen amounts of prize money. Like prize money that we probably would have never have dreamt of having access to when we started playing fighting games. How has that in any way affected how you approach the game? Like when you're in tournament, does the prize money even like register in your mind at all? Does it register in your training regimen at all? Or are you taking it exactly the same as you would, regardless of the money?
Honestly, in terms of tournaments, it doesn't really, because in tournaments I don't really think about the money or the prize money. I think about mostly about trying to win, because I'm a competitive person by myself. Going to EVO this year, I mean going to Capcom Cup this year and going to Capcom Cup 4 years ago, I would still feel the same way. I just want to win, or I just want to do well. But I would say that the prize money, huge prize money, affected how I approach the game. So it made me more serious about the game. Go to training mode more often, go practice, go figure out matchups, show up ready to events, And because of the netcode, it allowed me to do that. So now let's say I have Jury I'm not sure of, or I'm not comfortable against. I can just head up Kills You. Yo, can we play a set? I can just head up Reichman. Yo, can we play a set? Chun-Li, I'm not comfortable against. I can just head up Valmaster. Yo, can we play a set? So characters I'm not comfortable against, I can now just talk to them and get ready for the matchup. I did that before I went to Red Bull Community. I wasn't sure of Jury. Luke. I just approached Kusanagi. I approached Killsy and told them, yo, can we play? I want to be ready for this character. Now, at least, I have no excuse right now. I can't show up to a tournament and say I don't know the matchup. That's not an excuse anymore, because now I have access to all the matchups and I can just play. The only one that I can say I don't know the matchup is probably Dawson, because there's only 2 players that play him right now, 3 players. And, you gotta ask them to play and they might not want to play, so it is what it is. But with everything else considered, I pretty much have no excuse to say I don't know this matchup, this is why I lost. In my opinion, that shouldn't exist anymore.
Yeah, it's a great time. It's an incredible time to be playing the game. Let's ask you, I guess, a fun question then. We've already seen Rashid come out, and you've given him a try, and you've given your opinion on Rashid, and it seems like not anytime soon you're going to trade all your cards in and go all in on Rashid once again for glory, as you did previously. However, there is another character that I think you're more loyal to. If they released Guy in Street Fighter 6, would you play him even if he was bad?
No. No. Right now I have a responsibility. This is kind of my career right now, and you use what's best for the tool. You use what's best for your job, right?
Yeah.
You're not gonna show up at work. You have the PC in front of you, and you choose to use a notebook, for example.
Yeah.
You can just use a PC. So I have to use what's best for the job, and I'm taking it serious now. If it was a hobby for me, and I'm playing for, let's say, playing to be the people's champ and playing to be this and that, of course, then that's different. But right now I'm playing to win, and I gotta use what's best for me to win, as long as I like what I'm playing with. Right now Marissa is very good. Rashid, in my opinion, is weaker than Marissa. I don't see him as strong as Marissa, or even close. So I can't see myself switching over. But that doesn't mean I can't pick up this character and, surprise pick people. It's always good to have at least two characters in your arsenal. You never know when you might need them. But to answer your question, I would play Guy, but unless Marissa gets nerfed and Guy becomes magically stronger, or Guy is stronger than Marissa, I don't see myself switching.
So unless a character comes out that is clearly more powerful than Marissa, you're staying on her. That's it for the future.
Yeah, if I find myself having less fun with Marissa, and if I find myself, hitting a plateau in terms of fun, in terms of, productivity, then yes, of course, I can switch as long as they're comparable in strength. But switching just because I have emotional attachment to that character, no, I don't see myself doing that.
Fair enough. Let's get into question number 10. Evo Project L is going to be playable, and obviously everyone knows that there's going to be a lot of money floating around that game. It's a 2v2 game, and it looks kind of very different. What would it take for you to take that game seriously?
Oh no, I'm definitely going to take it serious. I'm definitely going to play it. I'm definitely going to try it. I'm going to give good effort to the game, and I'll see how it goes. Being a 2v2 is definitely a very, very appealing factor because, obviously, I can just team up with Angry Birds. Teammate is ready as well. So it will be very interesting to see how our synergy works in an actual game. Like, we've seen how our synergy is in SFL, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's seen it. But that's still a 1v1. So
You're not in the game together.
Yeah, we're in the game outside, but not together.
Yeah.
So I want to see how it is when we actually become together. Streams will be more fun. The content will be more fun. The tournaments will be more fun. I just want to know, since you can play 2v1, does that mean you have the option to enter solo or with a teammate? Or you gotta enter with a teammate, or you just gotta go do solo?
I guess we'll find out, won't we?
That's the thing I'm very curious about, because I want to know what's the advantage of having a teammate and what's the advantage of playing solo.
Have you ever played a co-op game before with Amjad?
We played co-op games like single play. Co-op games like regular games, not team games like Dota, Counter-Strike, and these games. No.
So what have you played? Let us know.
What was the last one we played? Bro, we haven't touched together another game in so long now. One of the ones that we played was obviously Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks. I think everyone played that.
Yeah.
That's one thing I can remember that we played. But other than that, I don't remember what we played.
So we're going back quite a way then.
Yeah, very, very like PS2.
The cooperative gaming might need to get the dust blown off of it a little bit then when Project L comes out.
Yeah, so me and Angry Bird have been friends for more than 12 years. So
a long time.
A long time ago. So we know each other, we know how we behave, we know how we think, we know how we process things. I think it would be very interesting to see this game be more implemented in a 2v2 style compared to 1v1. I would be very interested to see, let's say, Sonic Fox and the Kill Sage together, Ricky Ortiz and Justin Wong together. I don't know who else. Me and Angry Bird together.
Famous pairings, yeah.
Yeah, Takedo and Daigo, for example, together. It'd be very interesting to see that kind. I'm more interested in that factor compared to the 1v1 aspect. But I'll still play the game. I'll still give it a shot because it's the opportunities that come from it. I would be insane not to try it, or at least give it a fair shot.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. That is our first to 10. But I'm going to ask, can I have one bonus question? Is
of course.
That okay?
Yeah.
We're talking about you and Angry Bird together and collaborating. Obviously, the world has watched you in the gym for the last few years and transformed both of yourselves. But who can squat more out of you and Amjad?
So recently, I switched to hack squat instead of bar squat because I find that more, I find more stimulus that way. And he still does regular squat. So I don't know how it goes, but back then when we used to squat together, I usually squatted more by 2.5, 5 kilos.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so,
Close,
but right now,
close.
right now he's doing what? He's doing 70 kilos on each side.
I think I saw him put up a 160 on Twitter earlier, I think. Yeah.
On Instagram, it was on Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's actually been very strong. He does squat. But yeah, I mean, I do hack squat. I do 70-70 as well on hack squats. I don't know if what's the difference between both in terms of, but I just use hack squat for more stimulus.
I'm just very happy that, you know, despite all of the upper body shots that you put up on social media and the tight fitting clothing that you're wearing, sleeveless items, you guys are not skipping leg day. So I appreciate that. Leg day is not getting skipped at all.
I do it twice a week, bro. Of course, I'm not skipping it. Yeah, I do it twice a week. One for, you know, you can't forget the glutes. One for glutes and one for quads.
That's right. You gotta get that dump truck move. And you'll be able to see it at Evo. Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it, Big Bird. Best of luck at Evo against the other 7,023, I think it is, other players.
7,084, I think.
Oh my God, terrifying process. I'm so glad that I don't have to play. I'll be there just watching and enjoying. And I'll see you there as well. Thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it, man.
Thank you so much.